Hey guys, how y'all doing? Chard here, your tech guy. So today I want to talk about Meltdown and Spectre. Okay, so Meltdown and Spectre, they're the two new things going around in the computer field right now, you know, industry or whatever you want to call it. The strange thing about them is they've been in processors for a long time now. And basically they're just now getting revealed to the public. So we've been subject to this for a long time. So Meltdown and Spectre exploit the critical vulnerability of modern processors. As far as Meltdown goes, if the computer has vulnerability to processor and runs an unpatched operating system, it is not safe to work with sensitive information without the chance of leaking that information. This applies both to personal computers and cloud-based infrastructure. The good thing about Meltdown is there is software patches that can fix that issue. So we shouldn't be attacked by that if you do the patch. Spectre, on the other hand, now is a little bit more complicated. Spectre allow the attackers to trick error-free program which follow best practice into leaking their secrets. In fact, the safety checks of said best practices actually increase the attack surface and may make the application more susceptible to Spectre. Spectre is harder to exploit more than Meltdown, but is also harder to mitigate. However, it is possible to prevent specific known exploit based on Spectre through software patches. Okay, so I know you got questions and you need answers. Now let's do some Q&A because I know you want to know if you're affected. Are you? Most likely. Most certainly, honestly. Because you have an Intel processor in your computer and it's probably affected. Can you detect if somebody's already used the exploit? Probably not. The exploit doesn't leave any trace of log file, so you wouldn't know if you got exploited or not. Do you want to know if your antivirus can detect or block it? Well, possibly it could, but the files have to be infected before that could be possible. I mean, it won't detect it before. It won't block it before. It'll just detect if the files get affected. And if the file get affected, then they already got what they needed. So unfortunately, there's no help there with your antivirus or your anti-malware. So what can be leaked out? Well, if there's anything in memory, which is your RAM chips, at that time, including password or any other sensitive information, it can be leaked out. Now, one thing I want to make clear is Spectre and Meltdown has been announced. They haven't been really known to be exploited because we don't know yet. Are there any fixes that can prevent you from getting exploited? Well, there are patches for Meltdown for Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. So you should be running your updates as far as that concerns. System updates. So run your system updates and get your system as up to date as possible. And that patch is for the Meltdown vulnerability. Now, as far as Spectre goes, your software developer is working hard at it right now. Your Microsoft, your Apple, your Linux, and everybody else that support these software, they are hard at work at it right now, trying to get those patches out so people don't get exploited. But you have to run those updates. Get those updates as soon as they get released. So which systems are affected? Now, for a while, Apple and Linux to a certain degree were not subject to vulnerabilities and viruses and stuff like that. But these two affect everybody across the board. There's no discrimination with this one. Everybody can be affected. We talking desktop, we talking laptop, we talking servers, and even your smartphone. And that's Spectre. Now, as far as Meltdown, cloud providers that use Intel CPU with virtualization machines and stuff like that can be affected by this vulnerability. The ones that haven't patched their system are subject to Meltdown and they can get attacked at any time. So the only thing we can hope that is that these cloud providers are patching their servers to make sure we don't get attacked by them. Because I feel like if they get attacked, then it rolls downhill, if you know what I mean. So what's the difference between Meltdown and Spectre? Okay, so Meltdown breaks down the mechanism that keeps the application from accessing arbitrary memory. Consequently, the application can access system memory. Spectre, on the other hand, tricks other application into accessing arbitrary locations into their memory. Both of these attacks uses side channel to obtain the information from accessed memory location. So basically what that's saying is they both attack the system memory. They're just going about it in a different route. So where did Meltdown get its name from? The bug basically melts the security barriers which normally enforced by the hardware. So hence Meltdown. Spectre got its name based on the root cause, speculative execution. And it's not an easy fix. And it's going to haunt us for a long period of time. So everybody got to be careful out there. You know, these things are very dangerous. And we really have not a vulnerability like this where attackers can really hit us hard. I mean, I've heard that 90% or even more of the computers in the world, I mean, in the entire world, can be affected by this or can be attacked. So we just have to do those updates when you see them. Don't delay. As soon as you get those updates for whatever device you're using or computer system using, you need to get those patches taken care of and do those updates. We got to hope that the people who run the cloud-based services do their part and patch their system too, so we don't get attacked by them either. So what I'm going to do is leave links in the description of where you can get more information and where I get this information from, and you can read more about it because there's more details about it on this website. And I hope you understand what's going on. Be aware, stay alert, and do those updates. Okay, I'll see you next time.